Hi everyone, welcome. Thank you for joining me. Thank you, chat monitors, for your help. I appreciate it. 1 second. Hi, Kathleen Gilbert, Gloria C, Unconditional Love Taro, Sylvia Strong. I hope everyone is having a good Thursday. Having said that, if anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilo.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. And I'm Maxine Ladouceur. Intuitively, I feel, and I've been saying this every once in a while, the F45 regime is desperate. This morning, Eggshed gave a news conference, but I couldn't watch it. It was so bad. So I just watched a clip. They are basically mimicking Trump. He goes on the attack, he gets angry just like the other day. They think, it's a good thing that he was cursing on the lawn of the White House. It's because he had nothing, he was caught telling stories, and he could not defend some of the stuff that he was saying. He got pissed off, and now if you were to pay attention, everybody in his regime, they are all acting the same way. But there is a lady, I don't know her name, she's from Fox News, she has blondish hair, she's probably in her late 50s, maybe 60s. I don't remember her name, but she was just attacked. If you watch the news conference from DOD this morning, you will see it. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. The reason why I don't remember her name, I've seen her, but I never really retained her name. But she handled him, well, she gave him the backhand, really. That was embarrassing, the way she treated him. But the point I'm trying to make is they are so used to lying. It is beginning to catch up with them. And now what Fruitcake is doing is requiring or demanding that the people who work for him fabricate evidences to conform to his lies, to prove his lies. For example, he said they destroyed the nuclear facility in Iran. And if you notice this morning, the way the the Joint Chief was explaining how they had to. First of all, they went into, that's what bored me and I left, the way Eggshed was going into such detail to explain what happened, okay? And the way I saw another clip, because I didn't watch that long, and I saw a clip of where the Joint Chief of Staff was explaining why they felt that the bomb did its job. Of course, it caused damage at the top, but we don't know what happened on the ground. But the point I'm trying to make is, to me, okay, the bomb went in, okay, and he was explaining there are 3 ways this thing can cause destruction. But one of the ways was, if you notice the way he was explaining it, the thing went down, and then the way a ball of fire came out on one of the side of the building. So since I don't know what the building looks like, I don't have pictures of it. But if the bomb explode going down and you have exit areas, it's going to diffuse the pressure or level of destruction that this thing can cause. Okay, I'm just saying they are trying to, I'm not going to explain too much about this because this is not a physics class, no math. So, but intuitively, that's what I feel. And the reason why I'm saying this is because they are trying to create argument or evidences to back up what their dear leader is saying. And you know something, the more as we go forward, the more they try to explain, the worse it's going to get. And the international community, everyone knows they are liars. And they're going to do their own research. They're going to publish their own stories when they feel like it. Since everyone right now is trying to manage the meathead. Okay? But my friends, there is a sense of things are getting out of control. They no longer, the confidence they had, the confidence level intuitively I feel they had when they went in, they were going to, by this time, they wanted to have full control of the narrative and everything that Fruitcake said, and everyone was going to just obey. It's not working that way, and they are beginning to panic. And him taking a chance, thinking that like I said I believe Saturday, I said it. He took a chance, but it's not going well for him. And he did all those things trying to get a win because everything is falling. He's not succeeding at anything. Everything he's touched so far is going bad. Okay, so expect Trump and his regime to get more aggressive. And as we go forward, the other thing is, I'm sure you guys have heard, they are suing every federal judge or every circuit judge in Maryland or Pennsylvania. One of the two, I'm sorry, I don't remember which one. Okay. According to experts, that's never been done before. To me, intuitively, that's a sign of weakness. They are losing. They are doing a whole bunch of illegal stuff. They don't know what they are doing. They are lying to everyone. Okay? And now things are not working. They are panicking, so they're going to continue to bully. And one of you sent me an article this morning about state rights regarding the way the Fruitcake Gestapos, and French is Gestapo. That's why I'm getting a little confused, you know, which pronunciation is correct. They say Gestapo and French and Creole, and in English, I believe it's Gestapo. So he's been of Gestapos who go out, Nazis if you want, okay, who go out mistreating people. According to a law expert, and one of you sent me a copy of the article, states can arrest those perpetrators, those Nazis who are hurting or going around arresting and abusing people just because they can. And I don't know how many of you, I don't know if you guys remember, I'm not sure if it was either this week or the week or last week, I said the guys who beat up Mr. Barranco, the father of the 3 Marines, they are going to prison. Somebody's going to prosecute them, but I did not know where I was getting that. Watch California go after them. I'm not sure when that's going to happen. But the people who beat up the Mr. Barranco will face justice. But the point I'm trying to make is right now, it seems like besides people, us the people standing up and telling them, or take our country back from this regime, the states as well are going to start standing up, fighting them back. And I can't wait for Letitia James from New York to start arresting those guys and give them a taste of their own medicine. Send them into those prisons where they're keeping 70, 80 people, if no more than that, with 3 bathrooms. Oh my God, I don't even want to imagine. Yes. I can't wait. But that's what's coming. But the other thing that I'm concerned about, and I've mentioned it before, this morning I was watching, some of you I'm sure probably saw it either on MSNBC or on CNN. I think it was MSNBC. They were interviewing Venezuelans in Florida. One of the ladies they were interviewing said some of the people who have texted her said they would prefer to die instead of going back to either Venezuela or wherever the country they came from, and how betrayed they feel, how bad they feel that Trump betrayed them. My friends, I've said before, there is potential for violence. And we know, Florida, everybody and their dogs have at least a gun. It's crazy. There is, and the way DeSantis is pushing, you know what he's doing right now, pushing to continue the abuse. In fact, he's going even further than fruitcake. He's building, I believe they call it alligator detention or something to that effect. There is, I don't know the area, I believe it's in the Everglades, and from what I understand, that area is full of, snakes, alligators, among other animals you don't want to face. That's where they're going to build a prison that people won't escape. Even if you were to break out of whatever it is they're going to put there. That's what DeSantis is. I believe he's doing it already. People are protesting it. They have no idea. Because when people, you see the founding fathers, they were smart. I ask myself every once in a while, I'm like, 250 years ago, communication is not the way it is today. Those guys had the imagination and the ability to put the Constitution and everything else that they've done. That's one thing that amazes me. But they did the right thing. They knew if you don't have laws, give people due process, they feel at least, even if they are angry with you, but they feel you gave them a chance to defend themselves, to make a case for themselves. You're going to have insurrections. You're going to have violence. Intuitively, I hope I'm wrong again, when the woman said that, what came to mind is the prediction I made. I don't remember when I said it, but I'm sure I said it a few times. Violence is coming. people don't say those things just to talk. And the way Hispanics feel that they've been treated, they were fruitcake, betrayed them. They feel betrayed. And saying, I'd rather die than go back is not a good sign. I know fruitcake thinks he's the most powerful man in the world and he can kill people. That's what he wants. But that won't help him. Trust me. The first gunfight that take place over this whole immigration unfairness that's taking place in our country, all hell is going to break loose. Meaning, people will protest. I mean, the demand that are going to be made for this guy, fruitcake, something be done about him. I mean, impeaching him, boot him out of the White House. Watch. There are still going to be people, whenever I go on Twitter, because I go between Blue Sky and Twitter, okay, to keep abreast of what's going on. And I see the people, the MAGAs, they don't care. They want DHS to hurt people even more. But these people, intuitively, it feels like to me, they will abuse themselves. Otherwise, they would not be asking and demanding more or worse than they are hearing is happening to those people who are suffering. But my prediction is the same as before. The abuse is getting intense. A lot of people are angry. There's a lot of anger building up in our society against Fruitcake and his goons. I hope this doesn't happen. But among other things he's done, I spoke about it yesterday. Anger from him joining Netanyahu to bomb Iran. A lot of former presidents didn't do this. Not because they weren't stupid or they weren't brave. They weigh things. You know, if I do this, what's going to happen? If I do that, what's going to happen? And they took the best course of action that's good for us, the people. Now, the Nazi guy is not very happy because they are pulling FBI agents from from his beat of arresting people. They're gonna, I mean, it's not a problem, believe me. They are hiring a lot of bounty hunters and 3%ers on all those. They are too willing to volunteer, but they're gonna get their they come up as well. I think that's the right way to say it. But this is gonna backfire. Too many angry people walking around. And some people, I feel, even if they are by themselves, somebody approached them like those masked guys approached them. It feels like to me some are prepared to defend themselves. I don't want these things to happen, but that's what I am getting, and it's not one person. And it's because of the anger that's building up in our society. Let's hope I'm wrong. And the other thing is, oh my God, wow. Somebody asked me about federal employees, and to whatever I feel, between now and December, and like I said before, they were going to call back federal employees. They're going to continue to call them back. And as we go forward, more stories about what's going on behind the scenes in the federal government and what Fruitcake is up to. He's going to lose a slew of court cases. He's on the defensive right now, even though it may not be obvious. Okay? He's going to find himself weakened and not have too many places to run to. And when people, for example, the other day I called the IRS because I wanted to ask him how to do, because there are a whole bunch of stuff I didn't claim on my income tax. I wanted, them tell me how to go about doing it. I know I have to, my brother is helping me with it, but anyway. I couldn't get in touch with somebody to help me or for me to ask a question. I know it's already, it's always difficult to get through to the IRS. It's been a lot better until this year, okay? But now you can't get through. The reason why I give that as an example is a lot of people are going to complain about not only Social Security, the IRS, among a whole slew of other agencies. It's going to get so loud, they're going to have to call the people. I can't say if they're going to call 100% of the people they let go, but they're going to call a lot of people back, including scientists they fired. There is no choice. And by the way, somebody who's going to find himself into major trouble, Kennedy, the way he's going about implementing his anti-vaccine agenda, yes, friends, this guy is about to get into, he has no idea. And you know something else? Fruitcake has made a deal with people in his cabinet and others who are going around doing his misdeeds for him. The promise is he will pardon them if they break the law and they get indicted or convicted for any reason. That's why you see a lot of people, they're going out with impunity, doing bad things. But Democrats are not stupid. Once they have the power to pursue these people for their past bad misdeeds, they're not going to prosecute them while Fruitcake is in office. I don't know if that's the way it's going to work. As I'm saying this, it may be a state issue as well. Just like the states are going to go after people who are breaking the laws, there are other ways, it feels like to me. I don't know them. I don't know the law. I have no idea. The reason why I'm saying putting it this way is because, as I'm saying, Democrats will go after those people who are abusing their power. And as I was thinking of it in terms of the federal government, and I'm getting the states. I don't know what the breakdown is going to be or how it's going to work. But the states are going to have a part to play. And the article I told you, I read from one of you sent me this morning, arresting those Gestapos, the F45 Gestapos, they're not going to stop there. And according to the article, the reason why they have not done that is because they've respected. The feds were used to do the right thing. But things have changed. And there's not a trick Fruitcake is trying to pull as well. A lot of the things that, like I said, he gave everyone a list of things that they want to do to dismantle the federal government. Right now, the vaccine stuff, they know Americans except for the MAGAs who won't go and have their kids vaccinated. Okay? They are hoping states will pick up the slack for them, and then Fruitcake will give his billionaire friends tax breaks. The feds won't have to spend the money. I don't know if I explained it right, what the correlation is, but that's part of their thinking in what they are doing. But it's all going to backfire. Yes, the states and in the meantime, until the federal government rebalance itself, and then we start configuring things and how to go about who does what, who's in charge. Because right now, Fruitcake doesn't want to do any of that stuff. He just wants to be king and have one of his kids follow in his footsteps. That's his goal. Republicans will put it, the kibosh on that. But that's how he thinks and his family are thinking. Junior is already thinking on, they asked him that question while he was in Dubai, I believe. There was some kind of conference about economy or something like that going on. And they asked him, and he was saying, well, I'm flattered you're asking me if I'm going to run for president. Yeah, good luck. But that's part of the equation, okay, of Fruitcake's equation to have one of his kids follow him. But if he were to do that, it would be fun to watch. Him and Republicans, that would be an epic fight. But that's what I feel is happening behind the scenes that we are not aware. I don't know if that's in the Project 2025 plan, but I know, and I've said it to you guys before, that I was picking that up from Fruitcake. That was always his plan. Want somebody in his family to follow and to take over after him. Just like Kim Jong-un and these people. That's what he likes. Let's see what happens, friends. But federal employees, I feel there's going to be a major recall. And the other thing is our economy. MAGA is going to start feeling, if they're not feeling it already, since they will do anything for their dear leader. Let's see how much they are willing to suffer. Because I was watching Morning Joe, I didn't have a chance to, I couldn't, because I do readings over the phone as well, and I start at 6 in the morning, and I can get a call at any time. And as I was watching, they have, I forget his name, but he usually has charts. There's a blackboard. It's not a blackboard. It's a screen that has a whole bunch of graphs. He explains how the economy is working, blah blah blah. And he was explaining this morning how we're going to get hit, and the economy is shrinking. I mean, everything is going in the wrong direction. And as he was explaining, he didn't say it that way, but since I've told you guys a couple of, maybe 3 years now, okay, I was explaining it in terms of the wealthy, okay, against us. And they want to put us in a position. At the time, that's the best way I could explain it to you, okay, because I did not know. I mean, everything that's happening today, it's hard to to fit it in one session and in one shot as I'm speaking to understand and explain everything that I'm getting. But that's what's happening or about to kick on right now. Things are going to be very hard in the not too distant future. And it's going to hit MAGA very hard. And also, they're not going to be very happy because they are hoping and expecting Fruitcake can do miracle because God saved him twice. Yeah. Well, let's see how well that works out for him, and them too. Because if he lasts that long, I can't tell. I have difficulties telling exactly when this whole fiasco may end, but I know between now and March of next year, if everything I'm feeling happened, like I was saying earlier, one way or the other, he may have to leave. And the minute he leaves, it's a problem for him and his family. Because I've said before, there's a lot going on behind the scenes that we don't know about. And yes, we will find out about all of them. All of it. That's my prediction. And, but MAGA, yeah, hard time, financial. And based on what we're watching Kennedy doing and the way they are treating our veterans, more sick people, more broke people, a whole bunch of stuff. That's what's coming. The few years is going to be very hard financially. I mean, health-wise as well, because RFK is destroying our health infrastructure. And that's part of the fruitcake plan. I don't know if it's on Project 2025. That's why Kennedy is getting away with all that stuff. Otherwise, fruitcake would have complained already. And one person, she's trying very hard to get back on his good graces again. I would be shocked. Garbutt, he wants her gone. Obviously, she's been absent from all the major, and you know what? She deserves it. I hope they embarrass her on her way out. It's embarrassing already, but she's doing everything, licking his boots so they can keep her. It's pretty embarrassing. Let's see what happens. I spoke about why I felt in the title that Fruitcake was going to be more aggressive because he's losing. I'm sorry if I combine a few things, but that's why I put that there, because I was feeling it this morning. And I am not quite sure what I meant by Mia effective. I think it's one of his, the people who testify against him. I have to take that out. But to give you an update on Diddy, since it's there, I forgot to remove it. I believe the prosecution is going to give their closing argument today, and the defense tomorrow, and the jury will get it. I'm going to have to pay close attention to what the instruction that the judge is going to give to the jurors, and intuitively, because the thing is, the way I'm getting the Diddy story, they don't like him. They find him disgusting. The jurors, that is, intuitively, I feel. And they've watched videos on how he treats women. It's not sitting well with anybody in that jury. Let's see what happens. I'm sure we'll get interviews from them. But I don't see him getting out of this. Patty 1951 says, wondering about Trump appointing a new Fed chair, changing interest rates and inflation taking off. He said something about it at NATO. Yeah, but the current Fed chair is not leaving. He can talk all he wants. This guy, it feels like to me, he will fight back. You know, if you notice, if you fight back, Fruitcake backs off. So let's see what happens. But the way that gentleman speaks, and I feel he means it, And he, you know, the other thing is he's very patriotic. I'm sorry, I forgot the Fed chair's name. He's not just gonna walk away, because if he walks away, that's gonna affect his life, his family's life as well. Because just like everything else, Fruitcake wants control of everything and destroys everything. And Republicans are too happy to follow him down the snake pit. And that's what's going to be their undoing. But the Fed chair, it feels like to me, he means it. He's not going anywhere until his term is over. Let's see what happens. Oh my God, I tend to start talking and forget. There's a time constraint here. Yes, people are angry because they're scared losing Social Security, SNAP. Oh yes, Sophia TC said that exactly, yeah. A lot of fear. And did you guys see yesterday? That's another point. I mean, they are using zip ties to on older folks on a wheelchair for protesting in the Capitol. I've never seen this before. And also the Friday before Fruitcake had his parade, they arrested an 80-something-year-old veteran. That's to show you how scared they are. Things are not going their way. This is not a good look. Let's see what happens. But there is a lot, my friend, that's going on. And I don't feel they're going to be able to handle it. A lot of problems. Judge Matthew said, so no, the Republican wouldn't run for president for Don Jr. I don't know, but that's Fruitcake's plan. RM says it's rumored that George Washington had visions of the future. Maybe he was psychic. I wouldn't be surprised. Those guys must have been intuitive. I mean, I don't know the Constitution, but as a whole, my God, you know, this is amazing. Okay, let me go down, see if... De La Jean says, do you think that there are leakers within Fruitcake's inner circle? Oh, yeah. Are you kidding? There are so many there are leakers all over the place. They don't like him, even within his inner circle. Okay? He's abusing people, and some of the stuff that he's doing, they didn't sign up for them. Okay? A lot of them added into this dictatorial stuff that he's doing, that uni-presidency. They know now. People talk. Okay? And also, they hate the Nazi guy. My friends, this thing can just implode like this. All right, friends. Thank you very much, everyone, for spending time with me. And thank you, chat managers, for your help. I appreciate it. If anyone would like a reading from me, the link to my website is below the video, psychicmilo.com, or please feel free to call me or text me on my YouTube number. I'm trying to get to 50,000. Please help. If you are not a subscriber, please subscribe. And also, I'm very close, less than 250, I think. So help me get there. And also don't forget to tap on the notification bell. Please give me a thumbs up. That would help me a lot. You're welcome, Maxine Ladu, sir. I will see you all tomorrow, same time. Unless something major happens later, I'll come back. Otherwise, enjoy the rest of your day. Till tomorrow. Bye.